Every country on Earth is broke, not a little broke. The U.S. owes $38 trillion. Add up every country on the planet, and you get over $315 trillion. That's almost 3 times everything the entire world makes in a year combined. So somebody's holding all that debt, right? Getting rich off it? I thought so too. Turns out, not really. And the actual answer is way weirder than China owns us. Okay, so back in 1694, quick history detour. Stick with me. England's at war with France, and the treasury is just empty. No gold left. So the king does something nobody had really tried before. He goes to a bunch of merchants and says, look, lend me the money now. I'll pay you back later on future taxes. And to make that promise feel official, instead of just some guy owing his rich friends money, they built the Bank of England around it. That's the whole origin story. A country figured out it didn't need gold sitting in a vault to be powerful. It just needed people to believe its word was good. Fast forward to today, and here's where it gets kind of funny. Out of that $38 trillion the US owes, half of it isn't even owed to other countries. It's owed to American banks, pension funds, and the Federal Reserve itself. Only about $9 trillion is foreign-owned, and China, the country everyone loves to blame, holds less than 3% of the whole pile. So next time your uncle says America is drowning in debt to China, he's just wrong. The Treasury sells a bond, an American bank buys it, the Fed often buys it right back off that same bank. Americans are basically lending money to themselves and somehow calling it a national crisis. And that pattern repeats everywhere, just bigger. Japan lends to the US. The U.S. funds Europe. Europe lends to developing countries. Those countries turn around and buy back Western bonds with their own reserves. Picture a poker table where every player borrowed their chips from the guy sitting next to them. And the only rule keeping the game alive is nobody's allowed to stand up and leave. Here's the part that actually messed with my head when I first learned it. Governments were never planning to pay this off. Not eventually. Not ever. When old debt comes due, they don't pay it down. They just take out new debt to cover it. Economists call that rolling over. I call it a Ponzi scheme with a really good PR team. And weirdly, that's exactly what keeps the whole thing standing. If the US paid off its debt tomorrow, the entire financial system would lose its safest asset overnight. And you trigger a recession that makes 2008 look like a warm-up act. We've already seen what happens when a trust actually cracks. Greece in 2010 bailed out, and the terms were brutal. An entire generation stuck paying for it through layoffs and tax hikes. Sri Lanka ran completely out of foreign currency a few years back, and people were literally standing in gas lines because a number in a spreadsheet somewhere stopped adding up. And here's the part that bothers me the most, honestly. This debt isn't shared equally at all. The interest flows upward from regular taxpayers straight into the banks and funds that already own the bonds. Global debt and global inequality climbing at the same time isn't some coincidence. They're kind of the same machine wearing 2 different names. So who's the real creditor here? It's not China. It's not some banker in a boardroom smoking a cigar. It's a closed loop of trust that only holds together as long as everyone inside it keeps believing the promise is good. The second that belief cracks, interest rates spike, currencies wobble, and an economy stops being an economy and starts being a countdown. If this actually changed how you think about money, that's exactly what Vez is here for.